Mm. I need a calendar for August. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Good morning. Hey, Margie. Good morning, Lisa. What up, Kelly? Good morning. Yay, count alive. Yes. Happy Tuesday. I can't, it's August the 5th already. Time is flying by. I am like getting super, super excited for I need more light over here. This area of my room has faux clouds and paper lanterns that are from Tangle that I made. So it's a little bit darker than the other side of my room. But I can add light. Hey Julie. What up, Sherry? Yeah, so I'm getting excited. Well, I'm getting excited because it's getting closer and closer to the August trip, but I'm also getting excited because um, Patreon is going to, today's the last day at 8 o'clock. We're going to be buckling down on what we're going to be making bag wise and accessory wise for the month of August. And it is so close in the races that I'm curious what's going to happen. So there's a poll and everybody has one vote that they can cast. Now the interesting about the vote, it's not like doing it for like a political thing. They can take their vote at any time and retract it and put it into another like poll. So like let's say if we have a tote bag, a bowler bag, and a barrel bag. And let's say the barrel bag and the bowler bag were tied, and there was like one or two votes for a tote bag. The people with the tote bag, they can see that theirs is not going to win, and at the 11th hour, they know like the 1 hour before I like screenshot and say this is the winner, they can take their vote out of the tote bag and put it in either one of these bags to make it the winner. So we can all say like, "Oh, we think the barrel bag's gonna win," but they can be like, "Nah, I really want to do the bowler bag," and just take it out and put their votes in the bowler bag to topple that vote to that winning to make it the winning vote. So it's really interesting to watch people vote because I feel like you can see the activity, you can see people like move around their vote. You can kind of sometimes see people kind of campaign like I like this feature in this bag. I think we should do this bag what for what, and it's kind of fun. And it's not I love when we get a new designer, but I also know when we get a repeat designer and for what. Like for example, one of the bags that are in there is the Evie bag from Ora Rosa, and I knew that was going to be a bag. Ora Rosa bags have a tendency to repeat themselves in here. But just like I knew that somebody was going to suggest the Adina, because the Adina bag is a new shape and has like very intriguing curves. So there's certain bags as soon as I see them, I'm like, yes, someone's going to mention them. Um, so yeah, and then there is like the modification aspect. Like, what do you think I'm going to do? Like, I know for her fact if the Eevee from Ora Rosa takes place, I'm going to make the bag open up wider. The opening to the bag is a nice size, but I'm going to make the mouth of the bag open up wider. That is one thing I'm going to do because I've been carrying this bag now for 3 weeks, maybe a month. 3 weeks to a month because I tested it. You have to understand, I when we test it, we have the bag longer than you guys had it. So I've been walking around, mobbing around with this bag for a minute. It opens wide, but I feel like if it opened up a little bit wider, you can see the inside pockets, which is beneficial. Like just a tad. It doesn't if it opened up like an inch wider, I feel like it would be perfection. and it'll be easier for people to access stuff when it's on their sides. So there's small modifications that I think can make this bag even more interesting. Just like I think some I have some other ideas for this bag that can make it even one like to one up it. And because I've been carrying it, like again, I've been personally carrying it and I'm like, oh, if it had this or if it could do this, and now if it wins, I could be like, guess what we're gonna do to modify it. So and it's a different take because I've been um I'm proud of you. Uh, but yeah, you're getting on some timeouts. So you, it's a pretty cool thing. So I'm really excited about it. So yesterday I have one of those days I have like, I had a doctor's appointment at 2, so I had to do a quick turnaround time. Like, I had to do a project that was fast and, like, for turnaround because my appointment was at 2 o'clock, and I knew that after I came back from the neurologist and everything like that, that by the time I came back home, I was just gonna, like, hang out with either a kid or do something. So I was like, I wanna do a Euro wristlet. I'm trying to do all the bags that I'm going to be teaching. The reason why I do them so much is because when someone asks me a question in class, I want to be able to be like, yeah, it's in this step and you can do it like this, or you can alternatively do it like this. I will keep doing that until I actually teach the class because I'm a person that second guesses myself. I don't know if anyone else is like that. I know some people will put on a facade like, no, me, I know this. I did the pattern once and I know everything like the back of my hand. No. I can read a pattern and I can go back and tell you steps. I have that kind of memory where once I read a book or once I read some kind of manual or pattern, I can go back and give you like measurements, tell you where things are supposed to hit, like, oh, it's at 5/8 of an inch above this or whatever. I have that kind of memory. That's what saved my butt in school when it came down to history and science and stuff like that. But I will keep practicing on stuff so that way I can do be fluid. I want if I have a class of 15 people and I don't have a helper and it's just me, I want to be able to go to each person and be able to help fluidly. That's one way I can make sure that I'm not like with one person and I'm like, hold on, hold on, hold on. I want to be able to be like, okay, this is a step right here, da da da, and then go on to the next person and be able to help without someone feeling like I abandoned them. So that is a very important step for me as a teacher to be able to help you in an efficient amount of time and feel like you got the knowledge you need and be able to help other people at the same time. So I did a Euro wallet. A Yarrow wallet. I'm probably saying this wrong. So you guys already seen that I did. I'm keeping these. I haven't listed them yet because I wanted to bring them to California. So there's I almost had my chesticles go into the coffee. That would have been unfortunate because I'm live and I would have been like, let me put on a sweater. So I keep my samples with me and I don't list them until I come back so that way if somebody wants to look at them in class, like they get stuck on something, they have a tangible item where they can look and touch and feel, if that makes sense. Like sometimes having a project that's fully done in front of you can make you realize what the next step is without asking questions. So I have a cotton one. This is like the cotton canvas that you get from OSHA, and it's fully interfaced. This was a breeze to work with. So I did this, and I was like, in case someone brings vinyl, which I'm going to have a class that is a preparation video. I'm going to encourage people to use cotton. I always tell people to use what the designer asked you to do for the first time because it'll make your life easier. I feel like a lot of people sometimes set themselves up for failure, that they're familiar with like waterproof canvas, vinyl, and they want to do it for their first one. And I totally tell people don't do this. I when I even do modifications in Patreon, you will see me use the most ugliest, hideous fabrics. You will see like cotton, you'll see canvas, you'll see mismatched fabric. It's the same thing as having a muslin. And when you're making costume designs or when you're making gowns, you use muslin to the pattern to see what kind of alterations you need to make, to see where you may have problems with the yoke or with like something in the costume where you need to make alterations. I think a lot of people go into a bag and they're like, I'm cutting off this fabric and I'm doing this. And then all of a sudden they're ripping out stitches. They have perforation. There's issues that the vinyl's gumming up or whatever, and they set themselves up for failure versus using fabric that is like from Walmart or like ugly vinyl that they never are going to use and have something that if it comes out okay or ugly that they can be like, okay, next time I do it, I'm going to do it this way or whatever. But with wallets in particular, most designers tell you to use cotton because pressing is key. Pressing is absolutely key to get a nice crisp area. So I always tell people when they're doing wallets, like the NCW, unless it's like a Triskel, you can't use cotton. But like most wallets, like from Chris W or whatever, she implores you to use wallet, like the Pearl in Swoon. They tell you to do it. I ask you to use cotton. Just use even like the plain board cloth cotton that you have and work it out. See how it works and how if you can use water resistant canvas in the inside in your next project. Can you use like cork on the next project? Can you use a faux leather or a thicker vinyl? Can you use leather? But if you do something in cotton and it doesn't work out and you're like, holy, I cannot use vinyl on this. I'm glad I used cotton or muslin. It makes a huge difference. And you won't set yourself up for failure. You might be able like this wallet is super cute. I'm going to do it all until a pink one. Or I'm going to use Riley Blake. I'm going to use the Rashida Coleman. I'm going to be going Ruby Star. There's so many endless beautiful fabrics. And there's also custom fabrics from different groups like Notorious, Backstitch Fabrics, the list can go on, that are cotton. And you can also put water resistance. You can make them into wax canvas, something along those lines. But I actually really implore you to try cotton, or even like a Lauren sells like a water resistant cotton, like something along those lines. So that way you set yourself up for a win and it's easier to maneuver and balance. Once you do this once and then you say, hey, I got this, this works out, I know how to do this curve, it'll be easier to birth if I use this, and stabilization, and you got your, you did your number one. That's talk about doing it in vinyl. What kind of interfacing would you do? I did the same interfacing that they requested in this one for this one. But for my third one, I'm going to play around with making a template where the main panel piece, I'm going to do a 1/2 inch shorter all the way around where I could slide in some craft text at the very end. So that way it could be more rigid and not as flexible. But this is how modifications start. You have to start with what the original pattern asks you to do. Go back to garment making and see the beauty in muslins. You can use this in bag making and you're setting yourself up for success. I know a lot of people don't want to take the long route, but that's what failure starts, is when you think that you know everything and you don't. If you ask anybody that, like, if you get anything from bag designers, look at when Shannon is having 15 bags for the Adina. Look at when Ora Rosa has like 12 bags or more for the Evie. They do this because they have to find to see how many times they have to make the bag before they can give it to the public, because perfection does not happen on the first time. Look at artists when they're painting, they're like, they will scrap a canvas the first time they make it. It doesn't happen the first time. There are those few that do have it, and God, they're the best. But for the rest of us normies, we need to like just like pump the brakes, get that muslin, and just try something. Just try what the designer says and then work it out. I promise you, you'll set yourself up for success. So, and then ideas start springing to you. Like yesterday when I made this one, I was like, I want to put craft text in this because I love craft text. One of the people that I learned craft text from is Maggie55 from the classic Zip Around Wallet. But what's never mentioned in this particular pattern is putting in a harder stabilizer and just like sliding it in when you after you birth it. And craft text rolls really nice and you can unroll it and you also can iron it. So even though my class is not a modifying class in California, I'm going to bring craft techs and show them how they can do that if they want a more like zip around wallet takes. So like always just have faith in yourself and just give yourself some grace and just think the first one's not going to be perfection. Have some fun, use some muslin and do some stuff. But so this one I did with the zero. This is a magnet, and I got the magnet from Alchemats. I put the information in down below. So you're watching this in the future and you're not watching this now. Alchemats is a hardware group and they do custom hardware. They do not have the same hardware every round. So if you're watching this like 2 years from now, the chances are they're not going to have this. They run this once in a blue moon, and when they have it, they have it. When they don't, they don't. So this was from the Nightmare Before Christmas box. I want to say a year, but I think it was 2 years ago. I don't remember. So I did white stitching. This vinyl is sold out. It is from Sally Tomato. It's a faux leather. It's not vinyl. So if Sally Tomato, if you're watching, I'm sorry. It's not vinyl. It's faux leather. There is a distinguished difference. I will go over that if you want. There is a difference. Um, it's called Universe Glimmer, and it is by far the most beautiful vinyl. There is a shimmer to it. I have a nail polish that is this exact color. It is a black with an iridescent silver, and there are flecks of like rainbow iridescent. It's just not silver. It's like a cosmic silver. It's very pretty, and it felt very Jack Skeleton. Um, this zips down, and then I have a zipper pull that is Nightmare Before like Jack Skeleton, because there's 87 days until Halloween, guys. And then when you open it up, you have some Camelot fabric. So this is a regular Disney fabric, and you can get this Disney fabric at Michael's. I got mine's at Joann's like 5 million years ago, but I double checked. You can get this at Michael's, and I got just use some plain striped fabric because I thought it would be fun just to have just like a pop of something different. So you have your credit card slots, you have a zipper pocket, and again, I don't know where I got the zipper. If somebody asks, if someone knows in here, you can definitely link it. But this zipper pull is half Jack and half Sally. How cute is that? That is like super adorable because they are each other's better halves. That's so sweet. So it's half Jack Skeleton, half Jack Pumpkin King. And it's very simple. You can definitely duplicate this where this can be on the same side, or you can make this have like a clear ID wallet. Like take something from another wallet and just throw it in here. Put a clear ID wallet or just like another slip wallet. But you could fit a cell phone in this, and this is the reason why I like this wallet. You can also, like I said, make your own template and put craft text in here, or maybe even shimmy in some foam. Now, foam might be a little bit more different because it's dense. So you're going to be like shoving it in there and like trying to roll it in. It's not going to be comfortable. It can eventually get done, but foam would be a great thing because then you can sell it and be like your phone is protected. Especially if it's like something like a Z Note, where like that thing is like basically a handheld computer, like as it folds out and it has like 3 screens. Then you can do that, and people with the Z probably would flock to this because that phone is massive. That's a big, that not only is it fold out, but it's like a thickum. So yeah, and you have like a cute little pocket here, but the thing is this pocket has no closure, so I'm not too sure what you use it for. There's no magnetic closure, so maybe gum. But if like I'm carrying it like this, I love how it closes up, so you're holding it and like you're good. Nothing's gonna fall out. I think this is the coolest thing. And then you can adjust this to whatever hardware you have. You guys are well modified on, tabs. So I really had a lot of fun making this. This came together a lot faster than I thought. I did have to iron it from the inside out, of course, because you can't modify you can't iron on vinyl. This is going to go to one of my close besties. She expressed interest in this, so I'm going to be giving this to her when I see her. So yeah. That's what I did yesterday. I don't know what I'm going to be sewing today. I I've been sewing so many wallets that I wanted to sew another one. I was like, "Yeah, Shanoa, we need to sew a bag." I'm kind of in a standstill because I'm commissioned to do 2 bags and I wanted to do it, but today I have a doctor's appointment at like 9:40 for like my psychiatrist, and then I have a child that's getting their immunization shots at 2. So again, I have this weird moment in time that I'm trying to just fill the void with sewing. So either I'm going to cut out like a very big bag to do or do something small. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. So oh, the Date Night Dina. Yeah, the mini Alice. Yes. Oh, the Date Night Dina is I love that. I love that one. The way that wallet just comes together, it's effortlessly. And it's funny because I feel like you spend more time cutting out the pieces than you do putting it together. Once all the pieces and interfacing it adheres, you realize that there's not a lot of pieces. It just it just comes together very fast. And again, that is cotton based. I remember in the testing group, some people did with water resistant canvas, but that stuff starts stacking up thick. Cotton is your friend on that one. And I know a lot of people want water resistant canvas for a lot of things, and I totally get it because you think it is replacing Shape Flex 101, and it is, but it's also replacing it in the seam allowance, and that's where the issue lies. When you have just cotton in the seam allowance, you don't want to have the Shape Flex 101. That's where the issue lies. So finding that balance and falling back in love with cotton can it may be difficult for you to do, but trying to helps. When you look at some of your favorite designers and you start looking inside of their bags, like Lavender and Twine and like Not at Thread Co., you'll see that most of the time, 9 times out of 10, it's cotton in the inside because the way it lies is it's undeniable. And it comes in so many other colors, so many other pattern shapes, and it's undeniable. And the thing is you can make it water resistant with a simple Scotch guard treatment. And and now these like Ruby Star and like Allison Glass, you can get a lot of their prints in like a water resistant version of it. So you got to start you have I think we need to I love water resistant canvas because I like the notion of not having to put um Shape Flex 101, but it's needing to know when to put that stuff in and when not to. Wallets is when you don't need to because it just when it stacks on each other, like when you're doing credit card slots, it looks so bulky and puts so much bulk that it can make your wallet sometimes look not the most professional. Um, just it's you need to learn how to fall in love with both of them and just know when to have the great judgment. Yes, the mini Alice is cute. I love how the arms go, and I think that if you have a bag that has that arch, kind of like the Lucy from um Sally Tomato, you can do some modifications because there's the Alice and there's the mini Alice, and if you learn how to do the arch, you can just kind of modify other bags to have the that arch. The Estrella is another one that is like low key one of my favorite bags because it just comes together naturally and it looks like just one unit. And it sells pretty well for me too because it just looks like one unit. Like the bag just looks very bohemian, very rustic, and just down to earth bag. So there if I at first I was like, "What is going on?" Like, that bag has some very unique pattern pieces. I gotta give it to, like, Lavender and Twine and Aura Rosa. They always come up with a pattern piece where that it makes me scratch my head. I'm like, "What the hell am I doing?" So, I feel like Erica from Lavender and Twine always has a piece that looks like a T-shirt, like, forever, and I'm like, what am I doing here? But you have to trust the process. Once you trust the process, you always have an end result that you're like, yes, this is the best thing since sliced bread. And the date night Dina, just I recommend everybody to do because it feels like a Jetson thing. It's very futuristic, but very like nuclear family type wallet. That's the best way I can say it. Like like a 50s type wallet, but somehow in 2050. I don't understand how the shape is very confusing. I'm like, this is so classic, timeless classic, but somehow in the future. Like I don't know what made her think. And I try to see like where she gets her inspiration on this one. This I cannot pinpoint it, but I'm trying to like coax her into trying to make. I fell in love with this Dior bag on the plane, and I couldn't take pictures because this lady was already watching me watch her bag, and I was like, yeah, that doesn't look right. But this bag that she had when I found out what it was, it's a Dior bag, and it costs $4,500. I absolutely fell in love, but when I seen the bag, immediately I thought this would be a perfect Ora Rosa bag. It is the most stunning bag I've ever seen, and when I seen it, I was like, yeah, this is totally an Alexis thing. This is like in her wheelhouse. I could see it fitting really well in the Ora Rosa pattern. But yeah, oops, sorry, I'm like touching the screen all crazy and not right. Yeah, the Deanna comes together like crazy quickly. That's why I wanted to teach it, but it's my first time teaching it at this thing that comes quickly, comes really quickly. But I'm glad that we have the time slot. Like I think it's like 1:30 to 5:30. But it's either two things are going to happen. Either everybody's going to finish it within 2-3 hours, and we're just going to be like chatting it up in there, or everyone's just going to get finished. But because I can cut and finish it in like 90 minutes. It's a fast bag. It's super. Once you put like do the accordion wallet, you're just like, really? And everything just it comes really fast because the thing is that the very first thing she does in the pattern is that she puts the the magnets in. So you're like, okay. And I with that class too, I'm not gonna give teaching modifying, but at the end of class, if everyone's done, I'm gonna give a tip like how to make if you want to have a little bit more structure in the flap, what you can do to a piece to modify to add a little bit of structure, because that has a very interesting way that it's birth, and I'm going to tell them how you can give more structure to the flap if you want that. So like I feel like I can't teach a class and not give you some kind of tip on modifying, because that's what I do. Like that's that's what my Patreon platform is, and that's what I do. Like it feels weird when Patreon was created because people would get upset that I was giving modification tips because they just wanted the pattern information, which is completely understanding. So now when I do a video for like YouTube, it's like it's a pattern information from A to B. But it's like when I can't give a tip on how to modify something, it's like someone restraining me, because that's immediately what I want to do, is to show you guys how you can do something that may benefit you for the bag. So in person, when I teach, I want to like, hey, this can help you if you were thinking about this, or if you haven't thought about this, this might help you with this bag in the future endeavors. So yeah. Kind of like this. I love how flexible this wallet is, but if you were trying to teach people, like, get someone to purchase this wallet, I immediately would do the Maggie 55 thing. I would put craft text in this immediately. Like, and so I'm going to show people how they can take their regular pattern piece and create a craft text pattern piece that they can shove up there. And the thing that I love about craft text is it irons so beautifully, and it just the way it feels. I don't, you know what? I have no idea. I think it's just the crown things are the people who like comment the most. I have no idea. One day they just appeared, and on my screen it says like top fans. I don't I have zero clue what they are. One day they just appeared, and like YouTube didn't tell me what they were. I was like, what are these? And that's it. I have zero clue what they are. It just says top fans on the top. Like, so I'm assuming like the people that comment the most, or most hearts or fate laughs. I have zero clue. um but yeah, I'm excited. But I almost played Baba Chicken with all the white that I used on here. Look. This white has served me. This is 90 weight though. This is how much I use of white. I use a lot of white. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I have for you today. I'm going to finish my latte and then get ready for my doctor's appointment and figure out what I'm going to sew today. So I will be seeing you guys on Wednesday. Tomorrow I'll tell you who won on what on Patreon. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I will talk to you guys all later. All right. I am. You're all queens. I'm doing okay. I taking everything day by day. That's all I can do. I'll talk to y'all later. Okay.